From humble beginnings, Insurance Claim HQ has grown to one of the largest property casualty firms in the country. We didn't do it alone, and you shouldn't either. Every week, we're talking to claims professionals and top experts from all over, all to help you grow your business and make you stronger. Let's level up together. I'm Galen Hair. Welcome to the Level Up Claims Podcast. This week, we're doing something a little different. Over the last few months on the Level Up Claims podcast, we've had conversations with entrepreneurs, business owners, leaders, and innovators from all different industries and backgrounds. But no matter where they came from or what they specialized in, one idea kept showing up over and over again: growth. So we asked each guest one simple question: what does it mean to you to level up? For Dennis Meador, Randy Gage, and Austin Holmes, leveling up means to never stop working on yourself.
For me, leveling up, it's just another step on the stairs. I don't think leveling up ever changes for people who are trying to do just that. It's just, for me, like the word better. When does better stop? So to me, level up is somebody who's just always climbing stairs. And, they can look back and go, look where I've come, but they're also looking ahead and always saying, look where I still want to go. Because I think sometimes we use level up as like, I got there, I've arrived. And people who feel like they've arrived stagnate very quickly.
I would say level up needs to be a perpetual process. Because if we just level up, I feel like we have plateaued. And that's not really the goal we're seeking here. Our goal, I believe, for each of us on earth should be, we would want it to be, how do I become the highest possible version of myself? A person who can do, have, and become more. And so we want to create a continuous leveling up process, one that pulls us forward, right? We need sticky goals that pull us toward them, not abstract goals that seem unachievable or we're just going through the exercise or something. We've got to paint a future of who we want to become and a pathway to get there. And that's the onward progression I think we're really looking for.
Yeah, leveling up is never resting on what you think you've accomplished. Always trying to grow. That's one of our core pillars in our business and our life. There's always somewhere to get better, and seeking out the knowledge to level up. That process is a huge part of what actually takes you to the next level, is growing into who you want to become. So leveling up is almost never giving up for me.
For Rob Broadhead and Matthew Carleon, leveling up means embracing growth as a lifelong process, always improving, always climbing, and never settling for where you are today.
I'm going to take it very, I guess the easiest version of it. Leveling up is getting better each day, is being a better version of yourself than you were the day before. And I'm a big fan of minimal change and momentum. And if you keep doing that every day, then at some point you're going to look back and see a huge increase, a huge level or two or dozens that you have gone up over time.
Well, I think leveling up is just the process of incrementally improving, right? So you take the things you've learned and you apply them in new ways and new situations. I think once you're able to do that, to learn from whatever you failed at doing before, or even learning from what you succeeded doing before, right? To implement those things in the next scenario, I think just those improvements constitute a level up, right?
For Drew Thompson and Sam Ryan, leveling up means being intentional with your life, staying present, protecting balance, and making sure success in one area doesn't cost you everything else.
I'm going to throw it down. I'm going to say to level up means, how can I be more present? How can I be where my feet are? That's what it means to level up, because then you're winning on all four burners.
That's a great question. So for me, for leveling up, it's not just about business. I focus on family, health, friends, and business. And I've always focused on a strong foundation because you don't know what could disappear. So if business disappears, you have your family, friends, and health. If health disappears, unfortunately, you have the others. So for me, it's focusing in every day, improving all of those at the same speed. And some will go faster. Sometimes your career goes up and you have to sacrifice friends a little bit. But in the end, you want to have all four of those so that you know that if something goes wrong, you can always fall back on the other three.
For Molly McGrath and Tracy Austin, leveling up starts with stepping back. Rest, reflection, and taking care of yourself aren't distractions from growth. They're necessary parts of it.
Right now, for me, what it means is rest and rejuvenation. And really, for me to level up is step back and honor my time in the morning, my hot yoga, my hikes, what have you. One of my coaches always tells me rest is a revenue producing activity. And it took me a long time to really understand that. But when I'm white knuckling and I'm pushing, and I tend to make things worse. And every single time in with my entrepreneurs and my team, they actually get a bonus if I violate my mornings for me to make certain that I do my grounding and exercising and get ready for the day. They get a bonus if I violate my Fridays. You know, that you always hear my $1 million idea came where? In the shower. My million idea came when I was on vacation. So taking that power of the pause, which I also one of my chapters in the book, it's so critical. It's not a luxury or something we get at the end when we're hustling and forcing and what have you. It is like, I think the number one bullet point and KPI as business owners, leaders in our job description is that ours is how often are we stepping back? And I'm realizing every single time I set it up, I give my team the framework and the standards of what we want to, and I step back and remove myself. You know, in the olden days, or some firms still do this, forced sabbaticals and businesses and what have you. How about if we do that weekly?
So what it means to me to level up, and I will say that the answer to this is different based on different stages of life for sure. But, for me to level up, it is in how I'm connecting with our clients so that they can get that result. But quite honestly, for me to level up, it also means that I have to pay attention to what exactly I need. And there's the and both of that. Because if I'm not taking care of myself, there's no way I can take care of my clients.
Relationships and people are at the center of growth for James Lang, Rafael Pinho, and E.A. Clark. For them, leveling up means building strong teams, learning from others, and creating environments where people can thrive together.
So I think leveling up comes down to your relationships and your networks, because you can work on yourself at your leisure. When it's important to you, you can work on yourself. That's going to take whatever time it's going to take. But what you can't fix is your relationships and the people that have that expertise, that have that experience that you don't have. Every person has a different lived experience than you do. They all bring something to the table. So that level up piece is not only who do you know, but when you have people in the room who have broadly different experiences and you're trying to solve as a group one problem, the most important person in the room is the person who asks the right question, because the right question clarifies the entire conversation. So level up your relationships, but also level up your meetings.
Looking at being a true leader of a business, and the job of a true leader is work itself out of a job. So if you're able to do that, if you're able to have the humility to admit that some other people may be younger, may be just different in personality, is going to do the stuff that you are obsessing about doing and controlling on your own, and let go of that control and delegate, you're going to experience being at a completely different level. Higher. Oh, but here's a financial guy telling me to spend money. Absolutely. You're not going to grow your business unless you spend money. Hire the advisors, hire the support, hire everything you need to grow your business because they are all out there, as opposed to just being hanging tight, sitting onto the balance of the bank account and having that illusion that money sitting there is wealth when it isn't.
to break recruiting as a traditional form of how it's done. I think the model's broken. I think this need to um, select certain candidates, throw them over the fence to a customer and hope they grab one or two of them and they pay you fondly for it and you keep all the rest. It's just a terrible model. So I broke it. And I think, and maybe to even use your term, I think I've created a level playing field between the employer and the candidate that says, come and join me because you're going to like where you are and it's going to be a lot of fun. And it's not a guess because I've told you the story. And so have all the executives that work for us told you that story. So as I said earlier, come and run to me because I got something you're really going to enjoy.
For Bradley Rausch and Marie Tarosian, leveling up is deeply personal. It's about believing in yourself, advocating for what matters, and intentionally becoming the person you're meant to be.
Personally and also professionally, the word advocacy is a really big thing for me. And, I do a lot of, as I think so many entrepreneurs do, you do a lot of personal development. Like I always love those things online where they say the best therapy you can ever get is starting a business or running a business. So I think asking yourself, what are you pushing for? Asking yourself, what are you advocating for? Just with everything that you're doing instead of doing things blind or kind of without being pulled or pushed towards something. I don't know. I think about that and this probably sounds a little woo-woo maybe, but I just, for whatever reason for me, I think about that concept and, the work just feels a lot better, feels a lot more intentional, feels like I can do it longer, more sustainable.
Always invest yourself, bet on yourself every time.
For Dave Bookbinder and Sonny Grapponi, leveling up means finding that extra gear, pushing a little harder, thinking differently, and constantly looking for ways to raise the standard.
Leveling up to me means going that little extra mile, that discretionary effort piece that you get with an engaged employee. I'm going to the gym tonight. So leveling up for me tonight is going to mean squeezing out that one or two reps at the end when I feel like I'm done. They're just that little extra tweak in everything that you do.
I think level up, when that word comes to me, it's like step your game up. No?
Yeah, whatever it is for you, I agree.
Step my game up, right? Like, what am I doing in the new year? Level up's a great mantra right now, I guess, going into the new year. Right? What am I going to do to step my game up and take my business to the next stratosphere, right? Take it to the next level. That's a question that always goes into my mind, right? What can we do different this year that's different from the average account? And as you can see, one thing I think I do correctly is I think outside the box than your average, tax preparer. So, but we'll see what's going to be different this year. I don't know. We're going to go to the drawing board and, once a quarter, or I would say twice a year. I shouldn't say that. Once a quarter, twice a year, me and my partner, we do a off-site day where we either just get out of the office and for a full day, we'll go somewhere and we'll just brainstorm on new projects and things we need to do to take the business to the next level and level up, if you want to call it that.
Innovation and adaptability are what leveling up means to Matthew Fernero, using technology responsibly while continuing to evolve and improve the way you work.
Well, it's interesting for 2026 for me to level up. I'm actually way into AI. That could have been a whole nother show that we talked about all AI stuff. So I am leveling up my technology by integrating responsibly because I'm always in charge and I always check everything and I make sure everything's correct. Nothing happens without my approval. But I am leveling up with a insane level of AI integration into all parts of my law firm.
And for Jonathan Davis, leveling up means becoming stronger in every arena of life, in business, in family, in faith, and in personal growth.
I'm a gamer, right? I grew up playing video games. So to me, that sounds like you're getting stronger, bigger, and better. So that's what we want to do, right? With our own personal life, with our businesses, with our families, we want to be forever going in a positive direction, right? Gaining knowledge, hopefully making more money, right? Making better decisions, being more organized. And if you're a Christian like myself, get to know your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ better and better every day.
And there you have it. Different experiences, different definitions of success, but one shared mindset: keep growing. We hope these perspectives encourage you to continue leveling up, not just professionally, but personally as well. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode. Until then, take a moment and ask yourself, what does it mean to you to level up?
Follow us on Apple, Spotify, or your favorite podcast player. And make sure you like and subscribe to keep up to date on our latest podcasts.